Hello and welcome to my community on Afrocentrik Television channel 15.8. This is the station that brings about the occurrences in the Houston area, of course, and its surrounding cities, and by extension, the United States. My name is Kola, and welcome to the show. Today, my co-host, Ada Otuka, Ada baby, she's not going to be here today. She has an assignment, so she has to fulfill that. But I'm missing her seriously. It's my first show of the year, so I would really love for her to be a part of this. But, you know, life happens, and so we have to respect choices. Anyway, moving on. Today, first off, Happy New Year, Happy 2020. I hope you have plans for the year 2020. It's going to be an amazing year. It's a year where I believe, you know, it's time to execute and not just talk about stuff. Execute and more wins to us. That's right. So today we'll be talking about, you know, talking to three people, but on two different segments. First are going to be the GABA girls. The GABA girls are going to be consisting of Davisha who happens to be the global project specialist for GABA, and then which is GABA is the Global African Business Association, and also Uche Akeeb, who is an author and also not a stranger to our studio. Uche is the Senior Vice President Business Customer Service for GABA, and they have so much to talk about, you know, where their initiative is taking them, their African partners and alliances, and things like that that they've done in the past and what they are yet to do. Because they have African grocery store coming up. What? African grocery store, you can't beat that anywhere. Well, on our second segment, we will be talking to one of our beautiful, young, vibrant lady, Olori Trini. Olori Trini is the creator of Social Tea. And Social Tea by Olori Trini is more like a women empowerment, and where they get together and share ideas and talk about, you know, things that will give women an edge and also more wins, more successes. You can't even beat that. And then lastly, we will be talking about the parade, the MLK parade, the Martin Luther King parade that came up earlier last week, I believe. It was a glorious event. A lot of people were interviewed. And anyway, before I dive deep into it, just don't touch the dial. We will be right back with all this segment. Stay tuned and enjoy the show. We'll be right back. Welcome to my community on Afrocentrik Television channel 15.8. Well, this is a station that brings about what happens here in Houston, which is our home city anyway. But today we will be talking to some very, very not so strange to the studio, to our studio friends. And then, you know, we're going to be highlighting some stuff about what they do and then talk about the MLK parade that just happened here in Houston. So to do that today, we will be talking firstly with the GABA girls. Well, welcome to my show.
Thank you.
Today's my show. It's not our show.
Okay.
It's 2020, girls.
Right.
And you know, I love what you guys have been doing so far with GABA.
Thank you.
GABA is the Global African Business Association, right? Yeah. And Uche, welcome back to the show.
This is my home.
I know. Maybe we should give you a show on this TV station, right?
Yes.
Davisha Johnson.
Yes.
Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
You are in Atlanta. You are in DC.
Yes.
Here in Houston again.
Yes.
No, because this is a community we have to understand.
Right.
Who Davisha Johnson is. Can you give us a brief? I don't want to be the one doing that introduction. You know, there's something unique about Davisha people need to know.
Right.
relating to Africans.
Right.
Because they know my tongue still got that Nigerian Yoruba accent, right? But yours they know for sure, oh, she African American.
Right. Right.
Tell us just a little bit about that background.
So I'm Davisha Johnson. I live in Atlanta, Georgia, but I have a deep connection to Africa because I have African children. So four children is what I have, but 3 of them are African. So I started business in Atlanta in the political environments. So I have a political consulting and brand management firm. And with working with politicians here in the U.S., I was given an opportunity to go to Africa through the Ghana International Chamber of Commerce. And I met some other politicians there. So I've developed a deep understanding of what it looks like to create a black ecosystem globally for all black people. So Africa is in me, is what I tell to people. And I talk about it all the time. I have an investment tour that I take to Ghana to do small business investment. And then GABA really helped me hone in on what resources there are all over the country to help me accomplish that.
That's fantastic. And I think you've started that within the home court advantage first, right?
Right.
So tell us something about GABA that people do not already know.
So I'll tell you, and I think the most important thing is to explain it from an African American perspective. So the Global Africa Business Association, I met the president in DC during CBC because I have a women's empowerment event I do every year. And the way he presented it to me was GABA is an organization, and you can join GABA as a member, but it's not really based on that. So what the president, Akindele, does is he takes people that already do what it is that they do in their own fields, and then he just provides an environment for everyone to share resources and share their skill sets with each other. So he's already created in GABA a global network, but he was conscious enough to understand that women really run the show. Sorry.
I'm kind of getting used to that. I'm still going to dive deep into that because women run the show. Okay. Right. No doubt.
Right. But what he did was he gave women an opportunity to shine in their own spaces. So there's several different categories of industries of the women and there's men in GABA too, of the women that are in GABA, but he basically just let us be ourselves and continue to do what we normally do, just providing us a space to share resources. Right.
And that president is a man.
Yes.
I just wanted to clarify that.
So he was smart enough to know.
I just wanted to clarify that. Uche, you are the Senior Vice President Customer Service for GABA, correct? So, and you oversee, under your purview, you oversee the Houston area as well, right? So tell us a little bit about the GABA Houston division.
And so Houston is mainly it's women. For now, it's just women that we have in Houston because women are doers. And
don't forget, a man is still hosting this show, like right now. Girl, come on.
Okay, the thing though is we take a lot of risk, knowing that luckily for us though, we have good African American men to back us up.
Right.
I like that because anyway, go ahead, ma'am.
We have the good backup. So when we know that we have the good backup, we're ready to take the risk, knowing fully well that we have great support behind us.
Right.
So it's mainly women, and our main goal is to really empower the African economy as much as we can, and African American economy as much as we can. And being the Senior Vice President of Customer Service, that is a very powerful tool that you can use to empower the economy, because if you start a business, and it's only starting a business does not mean that you're going to thrive or succeed for long term. But what would determine that you sustain your business is customer service. So we're here with the GABA Girls of Houston, we're here to help the economy. We're planning a seminar sometime later this year that is going to be based on youth empowerment. And we want to empower the youth on how to start a business, how to source funds, and how to manage that business and sustain the business. Because a lot of people, it's not just about white collar jobs. And then some people, and really not just made for that. Like some people are made for white collar jobs, and that's fine.
And they're comfortable in that zone, right?
In that, and
But
they're
some
very
people just
successful.
need to get out of that shell, and some people trying to, but they're still, the fear of, am I going to succeed at
They
this?
don't even know how.
Right.
Some people don't know how.
Right.
They don't have that support. They don't have the knowledge, because knowledge is power.
And that's something GABA Girls can provide for
Yes,
them as
that's
well
what we're here
in
to
Houston.
do.
Right.
So tell us about your global partnerships.
So their GABA is universal as far as the categories of industry that we have, but then there's also ambassadors that we have in African continent. So I believe they're in Mozambique, Nigeria, Ghana, and Cameroon. So these, and they're all ladies. These ladies do the same thing that we do here, but the overall general partnership that we have with these particular women are they provide services and resources in country, because GABA as a whole wants to create a black ecosystem to help black and brown communities here using African resources. So all other cultures that have come into America do the same thing. The Chinese have EB-5 visas that they
Programs,
use,
yeah.
programs and all that. But I think what GABA provides just globally is access to information. So if African Americans don't know, and we know they usually in business don't have good customer service, Uche provides the customer service training. The global partnerships that we have with these ladies that are ambassadors for GABA in
So
Africa. do
basically, y'all leverage on the strength
Right.
of each
Right.
of the partnership that you have.
Absolutely.
So GABA is literally the bridge.
Absolutely.
Right, between the African community and then the
Yes.
African American community
Yes.
in the United States.
Right.
That's awesome. Uche, I know you're wearing your Ankara, obviously.
All the time.
So tell us about this your fashion line.
Okay, yeah. So the name of my fashion line is Uche Exclusive, where I use African prints to produce contemporary designs. Because we have a lot of designs that are out there right now, and then most people, like as an African, you need to always show your pride, because Ankara is rich in culture, rich in designs, and it tells a story too.
It does.
So I love the Ankara. Like I cannot trade it for anything. So I use that, and then that's how I express myself in fashion, showing my roots. So even before I tell you where I'm from, you can tell from just
Right, even if they don't know, you can
because
just
fashion tells a story.
It does.
And then so we're gonna have a fashion show this year, because we had one last year. We're gonna have another one this year at the Georgia Africa Connection Week.
Right.
Doing the Black History Dinner.
Which I would love for Davisha to touch on.
Yeah.
Tell us about this initiative, the Georgia African Connection Week that you're having coming up.
Right. So in Georgia, I got to GABA through NAPAC. So NAPAC is the Nigerian American Public Affairs Committee, and there's 30 different African countries represented in the state of Georgia. But because I work in politics, there was no connectivity between art, culture, or business in Georgia with Africa. Every other, there's a lot of other countries that have that access, but Georgia did not. So with so many African people, there was no reason why we shouldn't be connecting African Americans
Right.
with Africans. So the Georgia Africa Connection Week is like the African CBC. It's 6 days worth of events from February 24th through February 29th in Atlanta.
And it's every day within the 6
Every
days?
day within those 6 days, there's something to do. So there's a chance to meet with legislators. The former African Union ambassador is going to come be a keynote speaker. There's workshops and training. The highlight of it is the Global Black History Honors. So that's something that's very important to me. I created that event to celebrate black people all over the world. It's during Black History Month, and it's on the last Saturday of Black History Month, because African Americans are the last culture to kind of get ourselves together and unify as one. So I wanted to share the opportunity for black people all over the world to celebrate us in everything that we do. So that's why I created the event.
So this is going to be in Georgia?
This is going to be in Georgia.
What
Uche is
city
gonna
in
be coming
Georgia?
it's going to be in Atlanta. All days, all the events are going to be in Atlanta, but different parts of the city, so that people have an opportunity to feel during Black History Month. There's a new MLK exhibit. There's a lot of different things. I know there was a tragic death with Kobe Bryant that just happened.
Right.
So we have to really understand that life is precious. Tomorrow's not promised. So we want to celebrate Black people during Black History Month in a way that I don't think anyone else has done.
So, is there a website that people
Yes.
can go to find out more about this event coming up?
Yes, so it's called the GeorgiaAfricaConnection.com.
Georgia African
line there.
Convention.com.
No, the Georgia Africa Connection.com.
Connection.com. Okay.
.com. And then Uche will be there during the Global Black History Honors to feature her fashion line. We have some consul generals from other countries coming over, businesses. If anyone wants to nominate a Black leader, whether that be in Houston or it be in Africa, they can go on the GeorgiaAfricaConnection.com website and find events, and they can nominate a Black leader from their community to be awarded an award during the show.
So the process is you can go on there. I don't know anything about it. I just want to be a part of it. I just, talking from a layman perspective,
Right.
I just want to be a part of it, right? So I can go onto that website,
Right.
Plug in, get the information that is required, then, see if, I think this person deserves an award
Right.
or to be honored, right? So I can nominate that person. Or you already have a list of people on there that I can choose from.
No, so there's a list of categories. So you, Kola, know someone in the faith-based community here in Houston that you feel is doing a good job and they need to be awarded. You would just go on the website and say, it's a form that you fill out that says, I want to nominate this person. So anyone around the world can nominate a Black leader from their community. So I encourage Houstonians to do that.
Fantastic. So one more thing that I would like to touch on is about GABA in general, right? GABA, I know you guys, through Akindele in Michigan, I know some Hicks library that is under construction now, renovation, tore down, brought back up. I saw a picture of it the other day and I was like, wow, these GABA people ain't playing, man.
Right.
That's awesome for a community. And just last year, 2019, through GABA, of course, there were like 5 legislators,
Right.
that were, elected as councilman, mayor, and they're all Black, and it was through the, the initiative of GABA.
Right.
I love that. So if it's as simple as if they can take over Michigan or that city, Inkster.
Right.
For instance, they can take over. They can replicate that for other cities that are predominantly African Americans,
Right.
and that would help get someone at the head of the table for African Americans. They can speak for them, as opposed to the way things are going.
Right.
However, there's one more thing that I know that GABA has just done. Creating a grocery store in that state of Michigan also. Tell us a little bit about that.
So it's called the International Community Markets. It's set to open in the summer, and the basis of the whole store is, once again, GABA creating that Black ecosystem. So the store, there's not a lot of African markets. You have to drive far to get food from your country. So we're going to be sourcing products from African countries and from Black farmers here in the U.S. for the store in Romulus, Michigan. So it's an opportunity for investment. The community has equity in the store, so as the store makes money, community members make money. African Americans have an opportunity to invest in the store.
That's going to be the richest Black community in America eventually.
Right, with the template, like you just said, can be moved anywhere. So we, as African Americans and Africans and just Black people in general, are regaining our power, and I think GABA is a really good organization and tool to just help pull that all together.
That's an awesome platform. So basically, you're saying there's going to be an African store.
Right.
Everything that I can get in Africa, I can get in that store.
Right.
And I don't have to say I'm going to Africa just to go source for it.
Right.
Fantastic.
So it's job creation, international trade. There's a lot of people in Africa that have products that are having a hard time getting U.S. distribution.
Right.
So this store will allow them access.
That's an avenue for them to do that. Fantastic. Anything else you want our people to know about what y'all got going on, for the year of 2020?
I think the year of 2020 is about execution. GABA Girls is a new initiative we kind of came along with last year.
So most of y'all predominantly girls.
Right. So since we decided to make it a thing. So hashtag GABA Girls is our hashtag. It'll start being used everywhere. We have a logo we just approved. So if anybody in Houston or anywhere that's watching this program
That is a female.
That no, and let me not just say that, but that wants to be.
I forgive y'all already because I listened to the Word of God yesterday, and I just have to keep forgiving people.
You can support the GABA girls.
Right. You
Of
can
course,
support the GABA girls, but you can support, and there's a lot of women that are taking over education and getting degrees and starting their own businesses, and they need that support. So there's plenty of African and African American men to support us.
Lastly, how can one become a member of GABA?
So you go to GABAnetwork.com or you go to Instagram at GABA Network. And there's a contact us form that you can fill out. Even on Instagram, you can send us a DM too. And we'll reach back out to you within 24 hours.
Fantastic. Thank you, ladies. Thank you so much. And power to the people.
Power to the
Thank you, GABA girls. I appreciate y'all always. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having us.
Well, stay tuned. You heard it all, so stay tuned. We will be right back.